immunity normally is protective to our body. Like it overcomes the infectious agents and toxins, tumor cells, etc. They act against them and they protect us from all these. But when immune response is exaggerated, it will cause harm to the body more than the safety, right? So when this exaggerated immune response leads to the tissue damage or injury to the body, it is known as hypersensitivity. Understood this far? So how would you say that immune reaction has occurred? How is it manifested? Anybody has had these symptoms like itching or redness? Anybody? Most of you had it. Is there any triggering factor to this? Did you notice that after using something or after eating something, this reaction occurred, right? So here we will name it as allergen, okay? Based on this and based on the response on the body, hypersensitivity is classified into two as delayed and immediate. Immediate will take minutes to hours to occur and delayed response will take days to occur, like 2 to 3 days, okay, or more than that. And does everybody has the same immunity? No. So it mostly depends upon the genetic factor also and the quantity of the allergen, right? There are several factors that affect each person's immunity. It is subjective. It's not similar for all. Okay. And based on humoral immunity or cell-mediated immunity, Coombs and Gell classified them into 4 types. 4 types as type 1, 2, 3 and 4. What do you mean by humoral? B-cell mediated or antibody mediated, okay? And the last type, which is delayed immunity, it is cell mediated, particularly T-cell mediated, okay? There is one more type, type 5, which is generally classified as a subtype of type 2. I'll tell that further. So type 1 here is always immediate response to an allergen, right? It is dependent on what? Which antibody? It is mostly dependent on immunoglobulin E, okay? Immunoglobulin कौन produce करता है? All the antibodies are produced by plasma cells. So what happens? Sensitized mast cells, they release certain chemicals, mediators that cause all the manifestations that occur, which we call as atopy or anaphylaxis, okay? Atopy is always localized, it is non-fatal, but anaphylaxis can be fatal because it is systemic, okay? What are the primary mediators that are released by the mast cells? Most importantly, histamine, okay, histamine. And there are several other mediators. What do they cause? They cause smooth muscle contraction, they cause vasodilation, right? And in response to this, body will develop what? Hypotension, bradycardia, person will go into the shock, and then this is what we call as anaphylactic shock. It is to be treated immediately. What is the drug of choice? Anybody? Pharmacology? Epinephrine. Okay. These are the common allergens that are associated with type 1 hypersensitivity. They could be some proteins. The response could be to some vaccines, some drugs, sulfa drugs mostly. Can you name one sulfa drug? Cotrimazole. And most of the people, they have allergy to peanuts, right? These are all included under type 1. This is the schematic representation of what happens. Can you spot the allergen here? The star-shaped green color, that one is the allergen, okay. That allergen is attached to what? Yeah. This. Okay, this is the allergen. This is the antibody. What is this? Huh? This is the cell on which the allergen got attached with, you can call it what? APC. APCs are what? Antigen presenting cells. What are the types of antigen presenting cells? Any one example? Macrophages, dendritic cells, natural killer cells, okay? What will happen? This is unable to kill the allergen himself, so it will take a help from which cell? T cell. So CD4 naive T cell will be converted into helper T cell. Remember here it is always Th2, okay? Type 1 hypersensitivity, Th2. Th2 cell, after this combination, plasma cell is formed. B cell will be converted into plasma cell, okay, and then these antibodies will go and fragment crystallizable or FC portion of IgE antibody. Why do we call it FC? It's basically a tail. You can see the tail attached over here to the mast cell. Understood? This tail is attached to the mast cell. It is sensitizing the mast cell. Now this much has happened, okay? This is known as sensitizing phase. Sensitizing phase के बाद आता है effector phase. Effector phase is when allergen is again stimulating your body. You are again exposed to the same allergen. After being exposed to the same allergen, all of this is bypassed and it directly goes to this because mast cell is already sensitized. So since mast cell is already sensitized, it will burst, right? It will burst and it will release all the mediators we saw. What were the mediators we saw? Histamine, prostaglandins, vasoactive amines, all that. And this will cause effect on smooth muscles, blood vessels, all the manifestations I told you, which can cause atopy and anaphylaxis. Type 1 sensitivity, understood? Okay. So when atopic sensitivity happens, as I told, it is localized. So let's say if your eye came into the contact with the allergen, it will cause what? Conjunctivitis. If GI tract is getting stimulated, it will cause what? Gastroenteritis, right? Then it attacks the specific system in the body, okay? That is atopic sensitivity. Anaphylaxis, I told you, it targets all the tissues and it can cause shock to the person. These are the signs and symptoms. This bronchospasm is something that needs to be looked after immediately. Then coming to type 2. You can see here that the name suggests it's cytotoxic, okay? Type 2 and type 3 hypersensitivity are somewhat similar, just that results are different. How does it differ in result? I'll tell you. Type 1 hypersensitivity resulted into what? Allergy, atopy or anaphylaxis. Type 2 is cytotoxic. Cytotoxic, okay? Type 2, cytotoxic. It's killing the cell. So, here in type 1 hypersensitivity, IgE was the main factor. In type 2, IgG and IgM, but mostly IgG. What does it do? It will target the cell. You can see here, this is the cell that is getting affected, okay. Then IgG is attached along with the antigen. What is this known as? Antigen antibody complex, okay. So antigen antibody complex will activate the complement. You guys know about the complement pathways, right? What is C3b in complement pathway? C3b is a byproduct. What does C3a do? It's a chemoattractant. C3b is opsonization. What will it do? Opsonization means it will call the macrophages, neutrophils to come and attack. Yes. So it will, this neutrophil will come and it will engulf this whole, everything. Okay. Since it will kill all this, does that mean if allergen is removed, this will get cured? Yes. Okay. That is why the end result here is phagocytosis. Okay. Then this is the same thing that is getting repeated. Some examples of type 2 reactions are blood reactions and hemolytic disease in newborns and myasthenia gravis. Again, Graves' disease comes under type 5, which is a subtype of type 2. Sometimes it's classified like that because instead of inhibition here, it causes activation. Receptors are activated, TSH receptors are activated there, causes hyperstimulation, and that's why the Graves' disease occur. So just to remember. Then coming to type 3. In type 3, allergen is in the plasma. It is not attached to certain cell. Okay, it's flowing in the system. So again here, antigen antibody complex, it is damaged, but it also damaged secondarily to the membranes that are affecting their function. So when it is flowing in the system, antigen antibody complex along with the complement, it is flowing in the system, it's very smaller in size. It can lodge into distant organs. It can lodge into your joints. It can lodge into your kidneys. That will cause arthritis, nephritis, right? So this, again, here you can see, here the difference is in complement pathway, here which complements are taking part in this reaction? From C5 to C9, which is also known as member attacking complex. Okay, you can see here, this is the IgG and surface antigen complex. And the complex antigen antibody complex along with the complement will release again the granules, and there will be the formation of MAC, which will cause antigen antibody mediated lysis of the cell. Since it's flowing in the system, it can cause a distant manifestations like arthritis or nephritis, etc. What are the examples? What is the butterfly rash? Loudly. Where is it manifested? In SLE. These are the common examples of type 3 hypersensitivity. You can see here rheumatoid arthritis, SLE, allergies to certain drugs, glomerulonephritis, meningitis. Then coming to type 4, which is cell mediated. What was the helper cell which was helping us in type 1 hypersensitivity? Th2. In type 4, it is Th1. What will happen here? There is no stimulation of B cells. There is direct activation of T cells. T cells will take help from each other. They will release certain cytokines. Can you name, can you see here? There are the three colors. In type 1 hypersensitivity, interleukin 5 was involved, 4, 5, but common. Four is the more common. Here, type 1 and 2 is more common. Okay, along with that, TNF alpha and tumor necrosis factor and interferon gamma. They will cause inflammation. What will happen here? Monocytes are converted into epithelioid cells, right? And fibroblasts are taken. All this will cause a cluster of immune cells which will wall off the antigen and along with the cell on which the antigen is there. Antigen could be some bacteria. Which bacteria? Any infectious cause which can cause granuloma, tuberculosis, sarcoidosis, all that are included in this type 4 hypersensitivity. You can see here biological effects on leukocytes, macrophages and tissue cells. Most commonly contact dermatitis and tuberculin reaction, which is used for the diagnosis. They come under this type 4 hypersensitivity most commonly. And these are the organisms that can cause type 4 hypersensitivity.